Good morning, everybody. What a lovely morning it is. Today I'm going to do a small summer house and I'm going to bring you along for the ride. See you in a bit. Right, here we go. Let's show you the job. So, in here we've got a double socket. Okay, so what we're doing, we're going to give the client 13 amps outside in the summer house. Okay. So we've got a double socket inside. We're going to put a 13 amp enclosure with an unswitched spur, double pole, okay, on the outside here. We're then going to run an armoured out and down. This is all getting dug up, so the armoured will get buried in here. I'll run it round here, around here. Again, this is all getting changed, okay. He'll come along here, up, and then into a whisker, okay. So it gives me somewhere to gland the armoured into, okay? So all you're going to see is that whisker. I'll probably drill through the base and then meet my drill bit up this way. 2.5mm SWA. So you'll end up with a whisker box on there like that, okay? I'm then going to mount in here. So that will come back entry into a double socket somehow. I'm going to have to try and do something here if I can get a piece of wood. That's going to come into a double socket. And what I've got is the malleable plastic boxes, okay, 35mm, and he's going to get a USB socket on here somewhere, okay, like this. We'll then take two cables out of here, and because we're fused down to 13 amp, we can radial off of this socket twice, it doesn't matter. So we've got a ring in the house, out to a spur, and then radial off, we can do what we want then. So we'll take a cable out of here. I'll probably run it up to the corner, along here to here. They're then getting a TV put on this wall here, so we're going to end up with a double socket above here, and then again we'll come out of the socket along the top, along down here, down to that corner to another double socket, so they can put and that's going to get another USB, so they can got a phone charger, and they can put a lamp in, because we're not doing any lights on here. The client's made this little one here with some little fairy lights, so that's good enough. And then they're going to have a big lamp stood in the corner they can turn on and off from the socket, so they're happy with that. And we've got to run an external grade Cat 6 here. Got some external grade Cat 6. I'm going to put it in a Copex from here. They've got a hub inside the house there. He's going to follow the armoured around here, come in here. I'll do my drill again, but I'll probably drill the bottom of the summer house, just big enough for a cable, okay. And then he'll come up on the corner here. I'll clip him up inside, and then that will come to what I'm going to do is leave it coiled up for now, because I'm not sure what they're doing, but eventually it will get a white box, and then we'll just put an end on it, RJ45. Then they can then plug the RJ45 into whatever they're going to put on this wall, okay. So that will give them then an internet connection out here, which is not going to buffer too much, okay. Again, massive shout out to Prismian for sponsoring today's video. Lots of I'm going to give you lots of facts about Prismian throughout the day to keep you entertained. So first thing I'm going to do is go in, drill my hole out, and then we'll work away from there. There's a bit of luck, wasn't it? Look, that is pure luck rather than skill. That's come right out in the brick course. So what I'll do now is mount my enclosure. Single IP66 enclosure. I can get it out. Voila. And then that will get an unswitched spur in there, fused down to 13 amps, okay. He'll go on the wall. He'll go on the wall like so, like that, okay. This will be our protection for this cable going across, and then we can gland it in the bottom there of our storm gland. So we'll just poke a bit of twin inert through the wall, out in SWA, and then that will give us a power into the summer house. So as I always do, I'm going to run this armoured out, because it's been coiled up on a drum for probably 32 years in the bloody wholesalers, yeah. So I'm going to coil this out, let it relax, and then it will lay a lot flatter for when we want to connect it up, yeah. So what I'm going to do first is make off this armoured cable. I've been using these storm glands, yeah, so I don't really use old school SW glands anymore. They're a bit more expensive, but they are really, really good, okay? And I've been using these armoured slice, but I've gone back to my bloody hacksaw now for some reason. Not sure why. But that brings me on to Prismium first fact, okay? Prismium Group, formerly Peril Cables, is made up of Drakkar and Prismium brands with over 100 years of manufacturing experience and know-how in the UK. Some of you moan saying I'm using the grips wrong, but I don't give a toss. There you go, look, no scratches, nice flat grips from Nipex. Awesome bit of kit. We can now gland this into our outdoor enclosure. Okay, I've got my hole drilled, got my two fixings for me enclosure, okay? Voila, it's going to go on, but what I'm going to do first, before you fix this to the wall, little trick of the trade, get yourself some sealant, yeah? You see where the holes are here and here? There's like a little indent in there. Look, what you can do is run your bead of waterproof silicone here, here, and here, and that's going to stop any water ingress into the holes you've drilled, yeah? Okay, now I've got my enclosure up, I can bring my armoured cable in, okay, land him in, and I've got these earthing nuts, yeah? Saves you drilling another hole in your enclosure, and they give you the nut, and that's to tighten down onto the gland, and that's for running a fly lead off so you can earth down the armoured, yeah? So I'll earth it down this end, because it's easier doing it here than it is in the whisker box, believe it or not. But you can get whiskers earthing plates which are decent, but we don't need that today. Right, I'm just going to grab an Allen key. Okay. Pair of grips. Okay, there we go.
The armour that strips easily. So what's the law on this channel? Oh, come on. There. Jesus. Let's do it again.
Okay, so here's our Cat 6 external grade cable. He's going to come down into a Copex. I've left some slack on this cable so it can be buried at a later date, okay? This will go in a Copex and follow the same line as this. It'll come round here with this. I've buried it across this bit of path here, and the client can do the rest of that. And it's going to come up here now. I'm now going to try and drill a hole through this slab up to sort of socket height, which is probably going to be here, like that, and then hopefully get the cable straight through this slab up into this whisker. Okay, so we've got our power feed and our Cat 6 in the Copex. Bundy 10 on the CGI electrical store, 10% off that. That's a joke, by the way. That runs round, comes to here. This is going to get buried, okay? I've now drilled the slab straight down through there, and I've drilled an hole in the side, okay? I'm going to try and marry these two up now. Pull the armour out here. This Cat 5, Cat 6, sorry, is going to carry on. And I'm going to have to try and do the same here. Bring it up. What I might do is drill from the inside on this one, because this one I wanted to put into a whisker box, so I've got a connection. This one it doesn't matter, so I'll go inside. I might drill a hole straight down on the angle and try and pop it out sort of here somewhere roughly. Oh, what a mission this is. Right, so you can see what I've done. I've had to strip back the armoured sheath, yeah, a little bit, and then have a bit of a prod around. I'm hoping now the armoured should follow the cable, yeah. Oh Jesus, where's James when you need him? And he hasn't been sacked, he's at college. Relax everyone, relax. Okay, so I'm just screwing my whisker box on. The beauty of these is you don't need to take that bit of plastic out. Look, if you just screw them in, it just pops out, look. So I've got my gland made off. Just screw this on, and then that will sit flat on that. That will sit flat on there like that. I'll probably put one cleat down here, and then we can then get inside and put our sockets on the wall. Okay, hopefully you can see that I've got my whisker fixed in place, nicely in line. And then what I'm going to do now is put one cleat in here. Obviously this wood is only like 12mm thick, so I'll probably have some screws sticking out the other side. So what I'll do is I'll just get the angle grinder and grind them off. And then while you're here, just another interesting fact about Prismium. As in the UK, they employ more than 1,100 people, which includes graduates, students, apprentices, engineers, production, administration staff, to name a few. Next job, I've drilled a hole inside. I've shoved a piece of scrap twin and earth through the hole, and then hoping to get this data cable up and straight into the inside, and we can clip it up the inside of that wood. So I've shoved the, I need to get my kneeling pad, but ow, I've shoved that twin and earth out, so I'm hoping I can see it in the space somewhere, fish it out, and then tie this external grade Cat 6 on. Alright, there we go. Cat 6 is in, comes up through here. I might shuffle this somewhere else 1 inch this way, that'll cover it. It'll also pick up this hole, filled him in. He comes straight in, stripped, goes straight through, double insulation on there. Socket's back entry anyway, and it's 12mm bit of wood, so I'm not really worried about that. Comes into here. What I'm going to have to do is get the angle grinder out, cut down these screws. First socket is going to sit on there like that. I'll then run 2 twin and earths at the side of the box. One will go up and over to the TV, one will go up and over to the other socket, and then we can get on, do some testing in the house so I can fix this. Right, the old mate's turned up. He's come and banged on because he's a data communications specialist. He's put me on an end here. This can then plug into whatever they're going to put here. Okay, I'm going to clip it up here, leave it cold here, because they're going to have some sort of stand with a PlayStation or whatever on it. Sockets are wired in. That one's there. I've cut off the screws off the back, blended them in. We've got another socket down there, and then Handy is just hooing that one down here. That's going to get a USB one, mate. Click USB. Yep. That one there. That one. USB. Yep. And they're 35mm deep back boxes, and they're plastic. They're not the ceramic-y smashable ones. Yeah. When I do these sort of things, I always put these sort of malleable plastic boxes on. That one will get a normal socket, and then this one will get a USB if they want to put some sort of USB stick up there. And then I'm going to go and get my heat gun and start colouring up these ones here. Phillips, it's on the floor, isn't it? There we go, one socket USB here, one regular socket down there, one USB socket down there, Andy is then connecting up the mains end. We've put a little fly lead on the piranha nut there, heat shrinked up all the things. I'm going to then go inside, test from the socket and connect up. So I'm just training Andy on what this thing is. This is actually a hoover, so you can hoover up. So there we go, power's all on. What it was in house, hold on a minute mate, what it was in the house, the guy, I done my readings at the, they had a board change, and I done my readings at the socket, and the guy's obviously done his readings at the board, which was fine, which is what you're meant to do, but obviously when you're working at the socket, it's easy to do it at the socket, and when he's connected his lines in, he's connected down on the PVC, so we had no continuity, but obviously it was getting voltage through one leg of the ring, so it's a bit naughty really, because we could have had a bit of overheating and stuff, and there's only one ring inside the whole house, which is just the kitchen and stuff, so but yeah, I'm sorted now.